Terrorists targeted a non-local laborer in Jammu and Kashmir's Bandipora. He was shot dead by unknown gunmen, and he has been identified as Mohd Amrez and was a resident of Bihar. And he was 19 years old.
ये हुआ तकरीबन 12:20 पे तकरीबन जब मेरा छोटा भाई जगा ना, वो बोला भाई यहाँ पे नहीं सो रहा है, तो गेट खुला तो वो बाहर आया तो वो देखा जीने पे खून उसको बह रहा था, 3 गोलियां लगा हुआ था। फिर हमको जगाया, फिर हम आए तो फिर हम आर्मी को फ़ोन किए, फिर वहाँ से 2 इंजेक्शन लगवाया, फिर बोला ले जाओ श्रीनगर, तो श्रीनगर नहीं ले गया, सुम्बल लेकर आया, सुम्बल में फिर रास्ते में डेथ हो गया। फिलहाल 3 महीने हुआ यहाँ पे कश्मीर में।
All right, now I'm crossing over to my colleague Mufti Isla to give us more details on this. Mufti, what can you tell us about this shooting of a laborer who was in Bandipora? Essentially, we remember the Kashmir killings that took place last year. Tell us about this incident.
Well, this is yet another case of a non-local being attacked and killed. And there's been spate of these incidents. Now, this particular incident I'm going to talk about, here was a non-local who was living in Bandipur area. This is the Adjas area, and in fact, the village name is Soadnara. And he happened to be there sleeping last night around 12:20, along with 2 of his colleagues. All of a sudden, he was fired at. And in fact, we heard the eyewitness. He was saying that he was one of our brothers, and he had just gone out, and that's when they heard 3 volleys of bullets being fired. And upon coming out, they found that their brother, Mohd Amrez, who was son of Muhammad Jalil, resident of Bihar, he was killed. He had 3 bullets on his body. Further, he was taken up to Bandipur hospital, which is in the vicinity. However, doctors told them that he should be shifted to Srinagar. But on way at a place in Sumbal area, he ultimately succumbed to his wounds. So clearly, this is another incident. Last time around, if one recalls, on 4th of August, we had a similar kind of an incident when 3 people got injured when militants hurled a grenade in Pulwama area. In fact, Gadura was that village when 1 person later succumbed to his wounds, 2 others got injured. So the spate of these killings of non-locals, Kashmiri Pandit people, that's continuing, and government has not been really able to stop this. We've seen in the last 1 week, in the run-up to Independence Day, there have been spate of incidents. Yesterday, we saw a huge encounter breaking out in Rajouri area, where 4 army jawans were killed. 2 of the Fidain who had come, who were tasked to attack an army camp, they were also killed. And before that, we saw an encounter breaking out in Badgam, where 3 militants of Lashkar Toiba, including a top one who was wanted in some of the civilian killings, was shot. So all in all, this week has seen a lot of bloodshed. And, today morning happens to be another day when people have witnessed this kind of killing. For the security forces, it remains a challenge. It was a challenge. And perhaps in the days to come, it will be a challenge because there have been constant inputs, which police and army have been getting, that these people will be targeted, to non-local migrants, because we have seen TRF as well as other outfits have really said that they're going to continue their attacks of these non-local people because they think that they have been gotten into the valley to change the demography by settling them there.
Absolutely. Mufti, I also wanted to ask now, ahead of Independence Day, do we know about whether security is being heightened in the valley?
Oh, absolutely. Security is unparalleled and I will say unbelievable, because there are many tiers of security which have been put in place, not only in Srinagar but in villages also, because flag hosting is taking place almost in every village. In fact, last time around, I happened to speak to Divisional Commissioner of Kashmir, who's a top civilian officer, and he did say that at around 19,000 places there would be flag hosting. And this has really come as an irritant to militants who have said that, well, we're going to target all those people who will indulge in this. So clearly a huge challenge for the government in securing those villages and also the people who are trying to hoist it. But this killing is not limited to what we have seen in the last 15 days. It's been going on since last year. So it is a huge challenge. And generally what happens is that militants succeed in kind of diverting the attention of the security forces who otherwise are really focused on carrying out anti-terrorist operations. But once you kill a civilian, the security kind of is distracted, it's spread out also, and it also raises the cost of the government in arranging security elsewhere where security should not have been there. Certainly for the government, it is a top priority now to secure these non-locals. They can't do it to every individual, that's the problem. But, some kind of security really needs to be dispatched for these poor people who come to eke out a livelihood here in the valley.
All right, Mufti, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us all of those details. Now we're shifting focus